It's 5 o'clock in the morning right now. I'm getting ready to drive about an hour and a half to film behind the scenes on this plumbing company. What started as a dark, unpredictable morning turned into a full display of the work plumbers do long before anyone sees the finished build.
So that's your dream shower right there. This is definitely a $1 million.
Dark country roads, one house lit, everything else silent. Around the corner, an entire operation was already underway.
YouTube?
Yep, YouTube.
I'm YouTube famous.
Meet Joe, the legend behind Pierce County Plumbing.
Do either service work, remodel work, or new construction. We happen to do all of it. I learned from a lot of different companies how to do it all, and I just thought, well, that's the way you got to be. We have a busy season during the summertime for our new construction. That's just when a lot of it's warmer, it stays lighter longer. Everybody's going hot and heavy. The weather cooperates. It's when a lot of new construction gets done. It's when people prefer to, do the work. But then also during the winter, our service side kind of picks up. Okay. People are in their homes more. People are in there beating up their toilets and faucets more. More baths, longer showers. Just they spend a lot more time indoors. So during the wintertime, our service guys are running from job to job to job to job, which you'll see today. We, just yesterday we repiped an entire house. We changed out a sewage ejection pump.
For Joe, the work that matters most is the kind that nobody sees.
This has just started going vertical, coming out of the ground. A lot of the underground's already been done. This whole site has got a stormwater vaults that are all underground that took months to accomplish. So there's a lot of stuff underground that you don't even see here that was done before any of this other stuff even showed up. This site will be about 60 some units, I think, on this particular site. There's a bunch of buildings over here that are not up, so you can't see anything, but these are basically the first three. We'll take a walk down there. So these are the stormwater vaults. These are full of water. These are actually about 20 feet deep, and they're extremely wide, and they go all the way to A Street down there, or 99th, I think that's 99th. Catching any stormwater that comes off any of this cross street, aqueduct, 99th, A Street, and the entire site also has to funnel through here to keep from polluting any of the local streams. And lately, that's been kind of the holdup on most of these jobs, is not the building permits, not necessarily the energy requirements, but stormwater. There's a lot of people that, benefit from this type of work, and it takes years. Some of these projects start, a year and a half, 2.5 years ago, and then it takes another year and a half to get them, finished and tented up. But here, let's go to let's go talk about plumbing here.
What you're about to see here is only the surface.
For our end, as they get the foundation in, before they pour the slab, we have to do all the under-slab plumbing. You can't see a lot of what's under the ground, but you can see there's, dozens and dozens of pipes coming up, and there's an entire plumbing system under the slab that nobody really sees. And then also it's got to carry up through all the floors up above, 3 and 4 stories high. So it's a busy footprint. We were talking about all the different layers. Then you got the plumbing, the HVAC, the electrical, the framing, the insulation, the drywall, just the amount of systems that go into even just a small little area is dense. It's a lot. Laws, legislation, and those are the things, like, we know what the building costs from the ground up. It's the permitting requirements, the energy changes, and like this storm vault that we were talking about, they're gonna have $500,000 into stormwater retention and cleanup, and those type of costs go somewhere.
This is where it starts, but it doesn't stay like this for long.
This is a development off of B Street in Spanaway, where the builder's basically taking the entire cul-de-sac and building houses with ADUs. There's going to be 18, obviously 32 families that will be able to come in. They're going to each have their own garage. Go inside. Yo. Hey.
Really?
Hey.
Did you get the first one?
Yep. I'm grabbing it right now. Oh. So it's kind of dark in here, but basically this is what we're looking for. You know, downstairs, powder bathroom, living area, kitchen is gonna have a bar and an island. You know, inside the garage is, you know, the water heater, and then the living space will be upstairs. Or I should say the sleeping space, the bedrooms. So, you know, this is the master area. It's got big closets, laundry rooms, bathrooms. You know, each side of the building will have this. They're kind of deceiving, these ADUs, houses with ADUs. They hold a lot of space.
And for the viewers, what does ADU stand for?
Auxiliary dwelling unit is when it's attached to the house, and then they also have a separate designation for a DADU, which is a detached, really common in Tacoma, and you're seeing those everywhere. About 2 to 3 years ago, that's all we were doing.
Builds like this is a level of intensity most people never see. In your experience, you know, from that time to now, how much has the industry changed? You know,
It's gone through changes. When I started, we would sweat copper pipes, and we would, you know, my hands would be bloody, you know, just from cutting copper pipe, burning, you know, soldering copper pipe, and I'd have burns all over my arms. I mean, we literally days under houses, inside buildings, you know, and then it kind of transitioned to some CPVC piping. That was quickly found out to not be the best piping, and we shot out miles of that stuff for, you know, this is when I worked for other companies and stuff. We put in miles of that stuff.
Oh, wow.
And then quickly realized that wasn't the best stuff.
Was it because it was not durable, or?
It didn't hold up for very long.
Yeah.
But then the PEX stuff, which is the pretty much the standard as to what's used now, and that stuff is holding up great. That stuff is great for customers, for installers, for owners. It's virtually silent, running through the walls, where copper used to be really loud. You could hear the water running through the walls. It exceeds every Washington state guideline for potable water, where copper doesn't meet one, I don't think.
Oh, wow.
And I might not be right on every single aspect here, but most of it rings true.
Even at this level, the work doesn't get easier. It gets more exact.
So here we're at a new construction, a little higher end home off of Spanaway Loop Road. But I haven't been here since it started construction. So I'm curious as to see what it looks like too. So that's what we're here for.
Great. Yeah, they must have plan on having both.
Yeah, RV or something. People that have a good eye for picking stuff out and design and finishes and stuff like that, because I don't have that talent. And I realized right away that it's like, that's a skill. That's a skill, and I don't have it. I'm the nuts and bolts kind of guy. You know, I'm kind of the one that puts the stuff together, but it's got to be your dream, and we'll bring it to life for you. Looks like there's gonna be floating stairs. Here's another example of, you know, they make our work look really good. We just put the valve in and the pan and the drain, but then these tile guys come in and do their work, and man, everybody's so excited with how their bathroom turned out. And it's like, we didn't really have much to do with that. The tile guys make it look pretty. So, like we said, it's a work in progress, so not everything's done yet. That's what we're here to do today, is to finish setting the trim, the tubs, the faucets, but we can get a look at what it's gonna look like. There, 2-person shower.
Yeah, that's an awesome shower. All the showers here.
Yeah.
I feel like I lost count.
Yeah, it's a big house, a lot of rooms. And then the freestanding tub will go here, and that's just gonna, you know, cap off the room. It's gonna look like a showpiece, you know, by the time it's done. can get the lights on in here, and pull back all the covering over the floors. And once they get the heavy duty glass doors, and this is definitely a $1 million home for sure. Yeah.
Every build comes with its own challenges, but lately, it hasn't just been the plans or the timelines. Out here, the weather doesn't care what the house costs.
Should have been painted by now. The way the weather's been, nobody can get nothing done. I mean, I've seen concrete people trying to pour concrete in the pouring down rain. They got 5 guys holding tarps up, and the other guy's trying to finish concrete. So everything's just been on hold for the last couple of weeks until the weather lets up. But this is but they've been working hard on the inside. And I haven't been here in probably a couple of weeks. I don't know what it looks like, but I think a lot of this stuff should be good to go. We'll take a look. The lights in here.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Oh, boy, there we go. There's some. The Russian Ukrainians just have a really good taste for tile and finishes and stuff like that. So every time I walk into one of their houses, they always pick out this stuff, the fixtures and faucets. And I'm like, wow, look at that. God, that looks good. Because I don't have that ability. So every time I watch one of them do it, it's like, God, I need to have them build me a house. But these guys, everything's kind of ultra modern these days. And this is kind of pulled away from that. This is kind of more of a softer look, some of the wood finishes. And, I think it should come back in style personally. Ultra modern is nice, but, some of these, wood finishes and, I like some of that look, Oh, that's got to get changed. Nice big island, nice quartz countertops, nice backsplash. This is all the pretty stuff. We don't have anything to do with any of this part, but it sure makes our stuff look good. So I appreciate them doing that. There's a nice looking bathroom there. Really nice lighting.
Once again, great finish on the bathroom.
They do. They are good at tile. They like tile. That's a nice freestanding tub. Howdy. Yeah. The tile guys make it look pretty. That's for sure. So that's the master there. We're done.
For Joe, building homes isn't just a job, it's personal.
This is a little personal, but 13 years ago I was homeless.
Wow.
I was literally at one point it was even close to here. I found an abandoned house and I went inside and slept in a wheelbarrow. Wow. I have been these people on the streets. So when I talk about seeing these neighborhoods get transformed and giving these people safe, warm houses to move into, I am a direct result and a beneficiary of that. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I've pulled myself up out of that, and with a lot of help. It's not all from me. I had a lot of friends help along the way, a lot of family, a lot of support. All the guys that work with us today, we work together.
Wow.
Nobody works for me. We work together.
Yeah.
So I would just, my mushy words of wisdom to anybody that's watching this, if you're younger, grab hold of anything you can and any idea that you have. You can develop it through the internet and technology, and just by asking as many people as you can, hey, how do I do this? How do I do this? This work is doable.
Yep.
This work is necessary. You're going to be able to take care of your family. You're going to be able to learn a skill, and this is a marketable skill. I guarantee it. After you've worked here for 3 or 4 years, I could drop you into any market.
Yep.
In this union in the country, and you can go carve out a living for yourself and help somebody. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I mean, I love your story. There's a lot of wisdom in that story, and it makes me think about, when you're trying to progress to a new level in your life, there's a community that helps you get there, and once you get there, you help the community. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.